Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Play Slay the Spire. We've been working on it. I think we've been knocking on the door. We won as the defect. We had a really rough run as the Ironclad, and then we came through with a run that almost looked like it had a chance as the Ironclad. Remove a curse. Wait, remove a card from your deck. Not good enough. Max HP plus 6. Potentially decent. Gives us a little bit more rope to work with on the first floor. But dude, anytime we get a chance to choose a rare, even if it gives us a curse. Oh, and we gotta hope one of these question marks is a shop. I'm willing to do it though. We get normality. It's a bit of a tough call. But I think glass knife early is probably our best option. We can only play 3 cards. Yunk. We need a strike and two strikes and a glass knife. There we go. Sorry, just wait. Oh, you got it wrong. You tell me. Whoops. Oh well, 6 HP down. We'll take backflip for sure. Glass knife is the better card in all situations except situations where we're fighting, you know, like maybe 3 enemies who are relatively tanky, in which case we'd probably rather have die, even though it can only be used once. Glass knife is definitely going to be our first upgrade target, unless we get something better, I suppose. You know what? I actually am going to take a distraction. I think it's 0. It's well worth playing. Not afraid to tell you that for 1, it's potentially dangerous. It's more of a dice roll. Case in point. You know what? Hit me for 4. We might as well get rid of it from our deck for now. We want to draw a glass knife again, please. Thank you. And we're looking okay. We definitely do want to be able to remove a curse as soon as possible, though. Backstab, riddle with holes, and dagger spray. We'll take riddle with holes. We got a little bit of a more offensively focused deck than you would normally consider. We were really hoping to draw survivor. Instead, I'm going to slow play this because we have 2 big attacks. We don't have to play dagger spray every time it shows up, although we would like to. We're going to be entangled next turn. Dude, that's what you want out of distraction. And I'm almost... I can't afford to take that much damage. I'm almost of the mind that we should actually upgrade distraction first. So this is 16 plus 6. Obviously not going to get a kill. But, you know, now that I look at it, I think it's becoming clear, you know, just over the course of this fight. No, thank you. That we probably need a little bit more offense. I'm willing to get 2 potions. Might be able to facilitate an elite fight as a result. So let's go glass knife first, then probably distraction, then probably riddle with holes. Oh, this is enormous. Normality has to go. I would love to buy caltrops as well. It has to go. And if anything, we need more defense in the deck. We've only added a backflip and I guess tangentially a distraction. Give me a dodge and roll. I'm starting to think that the best... Oh my god, it cost us almost all of our money. Or it cost us literally all of our money, which is awesome. Every part of the buffalo, baby. Let's get another upgrade if possible here. Paper crane is good. We do apply a decent amount of weakness. And these upgrades here are pretty worth it. That's a 4-block change. I still think that dodge and roll... Yeah, we'll get rid of a basic strike. Predominantly looks like a man in a hammock swinging. You might not feel the same way. Don't you? I see like a little rope coming down from the tree and he's swinging here, but now I get that it's the cape and the roll and the etc. and the etc. So this is unfortunately where you want to have... let's do it like this. This is where you want to have die. Still, it all so far has turned out okay. This guy's gonna make us permanently weak. Like, this fight is actually a real pain in the wherever it hurts the most to get hurt. Thankfully, that skill potion actually allowed us to get a free riddle with holes, which is 10 damage, and you are dead. And then, we're not going to be made weak anymore, so I'm not going to neutralize this guy. I want to kill him in one hit if possible. This is 20 damage. It's 22. Okay, no problems. We got our attack potion back. It's tough. I do think Terror is actually pretty fitting for this deck right now. I really wanted to draw Survivor. So the way we're going to handle it is actually like this. We're going to accept taking 2 damage. Who's our boss? It's the Hexaghost, i.e. probably the ideal boss for us to be going up against if we want to maintain low HP. Or not, well, we don't really want to maintain low HP. That's probably an inefficient way to describe what I'm thinking of. What we want, and we're fine with that. Dude, to be honest, I don't know. Maybe a second dodge and roll into an upgrade is acceptable here. And we can afford Poison Stab, that's it. So nothing there. I'm actually, compared to some of our recent runs, I'm like really, really pleased with where we're at, believe it or not. I think well, I didn't really finish my train of thought from earlier. But what I was saying was, I think I'm starting to get the idea that the way that you want a thin deck is you start small. On the first floor, add good cards. Second and third floor, start cutting more than you add, and you're going to end up with a 20-card deck maybe that's bonkers, I hope. This might not look great, but Ascender's Bane... We should definitely pop the Strength Potion, that was pretty dumb. Ascender's Bane at least is going to be purged from our inventory. And next turn, we're going to hope to draw a Weakness, which is relatively plausible. I think I would honestly rather just, like, attack Potion. And then strike you. Really banking on Weakness, which we did not get. So we will be taking quite a lot of damage here. I will say, we don't need to pop Glass Knife this turn. We can just pop it on a future turn. Take whatever damage we're going to take here, but stop the bleeding. Okay, now we're in a good spot. 98 turns of vulnerability. That should be enough time to kill him. That's my hope. Sorry, Riddle with Holes. You're a very important card, but Glass Knife is a little bit more efficient right now and also keeps us from taking any damage whatsoever. My hope with the dodge and rolls is that basically they're like a baby blur. I don't really want to draw, to be honest. I want to make sure Glass Knife gets played, you know, most efficiently when it comes around. If we can get 12 block for 1 energy, you know, it's going to make us really happy in the long term. And actually, this fight has been pretty simple so far. 30 damage. There's not much we can do about this. 34, the burn does too. So we'd really like to kill him next turn. Please put most of those in the discard pile. Or all of those in the discard pile, even better. So that was close. But we made it. Generally speaking, I think a Malaise is probably our choice here. I know I take similar cards every time. All I'm going to say is that, sure, we do take some similar cards, there's no question about that. We're going the dodge and roll strat here, though, trying to mix it up. And I think we're actually going to take the Astrolabe and give me 2 strikes and a defend. Crippling Cloud, Bouncing Flask, and Backflip. So the Backflip upgrade is nice, of course. Crippling Cloud is fine. Bouncing Flask at least purges artifacts, but I don't think it's particularly strong, but I will say Crippling Cloud, if we hit an enemy, someone rightfully pointed out a mathematical mistake that I made. Yes, it only, okay, I thought maybe we could view the lower, but it applies 4 poison, or 5 poison, I think, on its previous level. I think it's 5 poison. So 5 poison is 30 damage, you know, 5 times 6 divided by 2. 7 poison is 28. So it's actually an 8 damage upgrade. Now, mind you, it takes you like 7 turns to realize the difference, but still. I still wish it applied extra weakness, but I understand that maybe I underrated this card as a result of the upgrade. Dude, Left Path has so many question marks, and question marks are great news. So first off, this might not look so strong. I think it is. The poison, it could be relevant, admittedly. But what's definitely 100% going to be relevant is the vulnerability. So let's be smart here. I mean, dodge and roll takes us where we need to go, and then we can hit you for 20, or we can hit you for 36, and then also play a backflip. So let's play the backflip first. And we got through 2 basic defends, which is probably, you know, we would consider that a big positive. We are frail for about 1,000 turns. This is a great time to have neutralize, and actually, I think a totally acceptable turn to play malaise. We would kill him with crippling cloud, so that was also viable, but I think now he basically... It's probably not fair to say he can't hurt us, but it's going to be a lot harder for us to take damage, let's put it that way. Alright, so with 12 poison, he's dead in 2 turns. Very, very good fight. And maybe, you know, Bouncing Flask specifically, pretty helpful here. Entropic Brew, of course, the best of all potions. Basically, like, by definition. I guess if you were really in a tight spot, you'd rather just have the potion you want instead of a potion that could be any potion, but, I mean, it's 2 potions at least. We're going to play the upgraded Flechettes. I think it's better than any attack, and we only have, like, 2 basic strikes in our deck. Like, 4 attacks total out of 20 cards, so I think Flechettes is going to be good value most of the time. Remove a card from the deck. Yes. I still think I think I'm wrong. I think we cut a defend, but I'm so tempted to cut a strike. Because every time I cut a defend, it's probably very wrong. But all I can think about is that, you know, in my head, I'm like, well, if I cut this defend, I'm just going to take a bunch of damage instead. Probably not necessarily how it works, but we might as well put terror on one of these guys. Because the strike doesn't really accomplish too much. We're really relying on weakness and poison here to kill these guys, to be honest. And glass knife's helpful. This would be a great turn for Crippling Cloud. We don't have it. We still don't have it. Flechettes is amazing. We're probably best off just killing the vulnerable one as soon as possible. And then the poison is always good. Okay, so you have 21 poison damage and you have 6. I actually think we're probably best off with the -1 strength. How much strength do you gain? Just 1? Okay, so you're still at like 1 times 6 damage, and if you're weak with Crippling Cloud, life's gonna be fine. Does Crippling Cloud Survivor give us enough? I don't know if it gives us enough. It'll probably take us down to 8 damage. 7 damage, even better. So it does give us enough, which means we can just dump whatever here. And honestly, the poison is gonna break these guys now. And we got a deck that, you know, it's good against the orb, it's good against the birds. You know, I can't really complain. We don't need any blocks, so we might as well go for the gusto here. Okay, so it's just you at this point. You're dead basically regardless. We should have gone for outmaneuver, but this also keeps us safe. I guess we shouldn't have gone for outmaneuver because it doesn't matter. Alright, very good fight. Hanging tough here with a deck that's basically just made of good cards. Because Deflect is upgraded, it seems like a good call for me. This is a tough choice. I'm gonna, perhaps controversially, I'm just gonna choose to take the 50 gold. I don't know about Ninja Scroll, to be honest, but my thinking is relatively simple. I don't want to lose HP if it might cause me to not be able to upgrade in the future, even like immediately, potentially. This is a very tough fight. I'm gonna try Entropic Brew, and I'm gonna pop both of them. Storm of Steel, Blade Dance, Deadly Poison. I think we'd rather have Deadly Poison in the deck. So if we make you vulnerable, if we make us vulnerable, I should say, you're going to start, you might do 22 damage. I still think you're first to go. 5 poison is 15 damage, so it's not even enough to kill you, and it would take forever. This would kill you, but... I still think we ice him first. He's doing 20 damage, no questions about that. I'll play Malaise for basically 2 because it's upgraded. And I think we're out ahead of this now. I know it's always risky. This is a fight where I actually like this fight a lot because I hate it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah, let's do it. Because of the fact that I think that sometimes you want to kill this guy first, or at least wait as long as possible to kill this guy. And sometimes you want to kill this guy first. Because it's dynamic like that, it's a little bit more difficult, and you've got to make that decision basically at runtime. I think that's really cool. This is a well-designed fight, in my opinion, at least. I have no idea in actuality. But, you know, it's another... We did spend 2 potions. I mean, I guess technically, if you want to be pedantic, we spent 3 potions, but... to do it, but, you know, we made it through the fight just the same. Look at this, like, flechettes. It's always value for us right now. It's beautiful. Set up, outmaneuver, and prepared. I'll admit, outmaneuver is almost tempting. I think at this point, so the deck is fine, but we have to realize we are going to be going up against enemies that have maybe, like, you know, 200 HP. Who's our boss? Hey. With our deck, how are we going to do 200 HP before we die? Well, one way is applying Malaise, for sure. But apart from that, it's Malaise and Riddle with Holes. Glass Knife loses effectiveness pretty quickly. And Flechette's being pretty good. But I think we're okay here, in my opinion, to take a Noxious. As long as we upgrade it, it at least puts the enemy on what is admittedly an incredibly long timer, but a timer nonetheless. If you lose 4 strength and become weak, will Deflect get us there? I don't think so, so I'm actually going to dodge and roll, Deflect, and then we'll play Malaise for 3. So I think once we get that, like, that perfect Malaise, it's so hard for us to take any damage. It's beautiful. I would love to play Crippling Cloud. We're kind of in the situation where, like... I mean, here's the thing. We got 14 block. I could hit you for 24. I'd rather hit you for 12 poison. Which in 3 turns will, like, dwarf the damage there. We probably don't need to play Noxious. The thing is, we can't play Riddle with Holes and Glass Knife. Glass Knife starts better, so let's start there. We're going to be debuff next turn. It might be nice to just have the block. And I suppose Neutralize would have made him weak next turn. But he's probably dead anyway. He's definitely dead anyway. And nobody is more surprised than me right now that this deck that has no identity except a lot of upgraded cards is getting the job done. I definitely think that another Flechettes is decent, even though this one will not be upgraded before the boss because Noxious is a much better target. Honestly, I think if you get the chance to hit that value Malaise without taking damage yourself, you take it. Decent. Probably will play dodge and roll and nothing else just to get extra block next turn. Because of his lack of strength, we're not doing too badly here. And I'm doing, honestly, you apply terror here, I think. There was no better line for us. He's almost out of weakness, so that's unfortunate would be the polite word. Dude, Crippling Cloud? Sure, okay, so we're up to 28 damage out of poison. No catalyst or anything like that yet, but still. Look, he's not really that much of a threat right now. It is taking us forever to get there because we have all these basic strikes and defense that cost way too much to actually use, but, like, you know, in principle, everything's fine. Really want to play that glass knife. One day. 12 damage. Oh, it's actually terrible, but that's okay. Well, we're definitely going to play that for 1. We're definitely going to play this for 0. And then on top of that, we can't even play a defend anymore. Doesn't really matter what we play then. That's the first hit we've taken on the whole floor, I think. So you'll forgive me if I'm not, like, too disappointed about it. But it does mean we'll probably want to rest before our boss fight. I think flying these close, but... Alright, in theory, and don't quote me on this, but I think this should be a fight on which we're actually, like, relatively set. So I think a dodge and roll is very valuable. But let's malaise this guy. Okay, so now he's effectively useless for, like, the rest of the fight. Except for his debuff, which is an extreme pain in the butt, but, you know, I'll try the draw. No, we don't need the draw. We don't need the draw. But we don't need the defend either, so we actually should backflip. And it worked. So you're dead. Another malaise? Absolutely. So the good news is we'll probably only have to play a block per turn. And we might as well play that one. And again, 12 damage. What's 12 times 13? I don't know, it's like 156. So that's 78 damage. But we have to wait 12 turns to realize that. Thank God we have block this turn. It's tough. You can only play one of these great cards. I think we'll play Terror Riddle with Holes just to get you a little closer to death. If we can get through this without taking damage, that would be a milestone. It'd be pretty good. It would be certainly a reassertion of the belief that the malaise was the correct play. Honestly, I mean, the deck, I don't think we need another backflip. It's just that simple. So we haven't really played Noxious yet, but Noxious is a card we specifically added to the deck for long fights. So now I do wish we'd rested. In what world wouldn't we want 3 brand new glass knives, you know? Now the problem is, you're doing 20, as we know. If we play glass knife, a shiv will kill you. But then you're going to do 20 damage. And we're going to have 2 energy. We can't gain enough on that. Right now, you're doing 20 damage. So I think you start... you probably still send those shivs out there, no matter what. Then you backflip. And you backflip, I think. And you know... I'm going to rely on... We're not being debuffed. So we didn't really make a lot of progress here, but I'm going to rely on not everybody attacking a bunch next turn. Okay, well that is... sometimes it doesn't work out, is the thing. You certainly have to be neutralized. Then the rest of this is where things become interesting. Since you're only doing 7 damage, I think you definitely start there. Now you're doing 10. Weakness won't do anything here. But the poison is going to start to chunk you. And we still got those glass knives kicking around. So I'm fine with this. Even though it might look a little spotty. Wow, I should have run the numbers on that, but what else are we going to do? Play Noxious? Like, unlikely to matter too much. Alright, so we got him. Took us a bit to get there, but we're getting there now. The malaise is just... It basically depends on when that comes out. Wow, we got a very low roll on the backflip, not picking up a single skill, despite that being like 99% of our deck, but... thankfully we got him, because we didn't draw much block there. I still think you probably take nothing. The Cloak and Dagger's a little close. 44 HP is definitely not good. But if we play our cards right, I think we're going to be fine. There's some obvious things you do. First off, you got to get the shivs out of your deck to begin with. Crippling Cloud is best served later, so we'll do a backflip real quick. What was the point of the backflip? I don't mind putting 12 poison on this guy, to be honest with you, and keeping our glass knives for later. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Mostly because I'm afraid. Free backflip is very nice. Free deflect is... This is like the ideal turn for this situation. Because I think you being neutralized is our best bet for sure. You're doing 24 damage. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll compromise just the slightest bit. And I think the malaise going out there is by far the most important. My math was wrong. You were doing 26 damage. We're only taking 1, though. That's pretty good. He is obviously going to get stronger. You have to play Noxious Fumes, and we will play Flechettes and Survivor. I know we're taking damage in the process there, but it's necessary to get the cumulative poison damage going on him. I think we've gotten our win conditions. Now it's just a question of whether or not like we calculated the run properly. And we might not have. Genuinely. But certainly, no debuffs, please. He's summoning more minions. I basically hate the fact that you're strong. I don't want to spend 2 energy on 10 damage. Like, that just makes me upset. So, instead, we're just playing 2 dodge and rolls to make our turn easier next turn. Now, Crippling Cloud is pretty good. I'm willing to take 7 damage to get these guys a little closer to death. And because of Noxious, you're dead next turn. And we didn't take 7 damage because of the weakness, right? You got to factor that in. All this stuff matters. Especially in a situation like this. Only 2 skills. So we're going to play backflip. We're also hoping to high roll and get 2 skills. It worked. Now we can do 12 damage. 9 damage. That's 21. So it's not enough to kill you. So we're probably best off just playing a crap load of blocks. I know we haven't played Terror yet, by the way. 923. So we're taking 13 damage. This might look bad, but I think we're actually getting closer to success. You only need to take 8 damage. Or you're dead next turn. So let's just make sure you die next turn then. And I think, you know, Glass Knife, not particularly strong, but we'll get it out there regardless. Alright, this guy, he's so close. He's so close. He doesn't look like it, but he's close to death. So we got 22 damage on the field because this guy's dead. Definitely, you bouncing Flask, we're taking 5. And you hope for the high roll, and as many on this guy as possible. Sure, I'll take 6 poison for 2. It's not great, but if it kills him 1 turn faster, we can't be sad about it. Let's run the numbers. How much damage do we have to do to him so he dies next turn? Right now, next turn he's going to be at 40. So essentially, 40? What's wrong with you? Next turn he's going to be at 56. No, he's going to be at 40 poison. It's like my own brain was like, what are you talking about? Okay, he's going to be at 56, and he's going to take 40 poison, which means we need to do 16 damage to him. So as long as we don't die this turn, and we do 16 damage, which we just did, he should be screwed. I think we got him, dude. Noxious? We definitely got him. Now I just want to kill you, but that's just like for bragging rights. Okay, dude, the deck works. Kind of. I definitely feel like a burst is our best option. We don't play enough cards for After Image to make a discernible difference in block, I think. I'm mad. Admittedly, a little bit angry. Let's get Ring of the Snake. Ring of the Serpent, sorry. Serpent, as we all know, is just an evolved snake. We have to fight an elite. This path is pretty safe as long as the question marks don't screw us. But not having an energy relic is a pain in the butt. That's what I'm mad about. So, I still actually think we're doing relatively okay. Beautiful. Noxious is so necessary to... Well, actually, no, there's no spiker here. So Noxious is not as necessary as it normally is. Malaise also not, you know, mission critical here. You're doing 24. Jeez. I mean, I'll level with you. We're not going to get to 24. Unless maybe we can... No, we definitely cannot kill you. So I think we'll dodge and roll and then throw a survivor in here. And we might as well toss a malaise and just see... Okay, we're actually not taking damage now as a result of that. For a zero-cost upgrade in malaise. This guy's got to go. That's the real problem right now. And distraction hit us with a dodge and roll, which is actually pretty nice. But I think we want a... Well, actually, it's tough to say. Burst Crippling Cloud would be a lot of poison, but what's the point? Because this guy's going to explode. We'd probably rather have a burst... dodge and roll, and then a dodge and roll. And admittedly, we are going to take like 8 damage here. Or, yeah, we took 8. But we won on the next fight. Not so bad. This is a very challenging one for me personally. Catalyst is good, but we have to play the tape forward on the Timekeeper fight. Yes, we could triple his poison, but then he's going to remove it. Or we could wait to triple his poison. And then it's a dead card every time we draw it. I think that's still worth it. But it definitely needs an upgrade. I don't think we need 2 catalysts. Well, why wouldn't you take 2 catalysts if you're going to roll catalyst? Basically, for 2 energy, you're multiplying the enemy's poison by 9. It's very hard to say no to that. And I'm not going to take a deflect just because it's not upgraded, but... If it were upgraded, I would take it in a heartbeat. So this is... I want you to know that, you know, feel safe in the knowledge that definitely that's a bit of a dangerous decision, I think. Thank God for 12 block next turn for free. And what do? I mean, a Bouncing Flask Catalyst is not so bad, but neither is a Crippling Cloud Catalyst, and then we take no damage. So I'm not going to do 14 times 15 because it will embarrass me. While I'm also trying to hold a conversation here, but definitely we'll do it like this. We'll calculate a gamble just to dump the burn, basically. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but either way, I think playing the malaise there was a shrewd move. And dude, every time you draw deflect, you're just like, you're a happy man. This guy's dead. He needs to take 8 damage next turn. That's like a single attack. That'll work too. Okay, just staying steady here. I definitely always think a leg sweep is good value, and a rare relic would be nice. We're so relic poor. The question is, do we need liquid thorns here? Or liquid bronze, I should say. Because if not, we can just weakness potion him and be fine. Well, we're going to dodge and roll and then just strike. We want the block next turn. He's doing 24 damage. Dude, a burst malaise is going to ruin his life. Six strength down. Like, I'm not messing with you. He's done. Now we just stack poison and play our catalysts, and he's dead as heck. I think it's a pretty easy turn, especially because he's vulnerable. You know, at this point, you might consider... I'd rather give him 12 poison than 15 damage. Look, Riddle with Holes did amazing work for us on the first floor, but at this point, it might be past its welcome, and that's okay. Yeah, I guess I almost think I basically ruined the run at that shop if I had been in the position where I originally thought, which is like 1 catalyst is enough. Obviously, every catalyst gets better. You know, the more catalysts you add, the better off you are. Doesn't really matter what we do. It does, because, I mean, we didn't have any blocks, so we took burn damage, but... Tori. Actually, combined with Malaise and Weakness, Tori could get us a lot of value on the, on the Timekeeper fight. So I think that's actually really, really good. It's a very similar fight to one we recently had. I don't necessarily think burst leg sweep was necessary, and a dodge and roll was tempting. But okay, don't play this yet because we might flechettes 3 skills. All right, obviously he had to go. Hanging in there. We really need to play Noxious to kill these guys. Noxious plus block cuts them. So you need to die. Have to play Noxious. Take 1 damage. Yeah, that's fine. And there's nothing we can do about it except use a... Well, even a weakness potion wouldn't have done it. So yeah, totally fine. Alright. The real question is, do we upgrade Noxious? Do we upgrade Catalyst? Or do we... Just thinking for a second here, because I would like to play Flechettes. No, we wouldn't. No, we don't. Yeah, let's do it like that. We do have the Elite fight coming up. The idea is that, you know, we'd like to upgrade those. I have to imagine Catalyst is definitely going to be worth an upgrade. But can we survive on 22 life? Caltrops is just an agnostically good card. But we have to think, against the Heart, it's a gimme. Against Timekeeper, it's a maximum of 15 damage per turn if we upgrade it. I don't think it's worth it. Now, this is a very, very dangerous proposition, but... it also has to be done. Alright, so pay it forward. Glass Knife is definitely playable. Better if he's vulnerable, but life goes on. We are going to dodge and roll, so that we have some block next turn no matter what. He adds 3 burns to our deck. It was bad, of course. And he's doing 45 damage. Oh my word. Well, we'll hit him with that leg sweep. And, I mean, at this point, I would definitely prefer not to take 10 damage. But I also think it is necessary long-term that we apply some kind of debuff to him so we can get out ahead. Flechettes is fine to play here. Keep him weak. It's not a good malaise, but it's good enough. Because we're not going to play it if it loops around, probably. So, honestly, give me a burst distraction. We really want to play Noxious, but I think we'd rather, and this is a bit wonky, but Crippling Cloud plus Catalyst puts us in a point where our upgraded Catalyst could absolutely crush, but we do need to draw it. So you're doing 9 damage. Tell you what, we will just put up Defend. At this point, we're just... our win condition is Catalyst, basically. I'm like, if we burst and apply 24 poison and then triple it, he will die. The other option is burst, dodge, and roll, and then next turn you're probably a little bit better off, but that's not nearly as fun. And this is a guarantee. Like, at some point, as a result of having that poison, he's gonna die. It might not be on our next turn, although I would love it to be. Although I would love it to be. It only doubles. Okay. The worst part about this is that it still takes 2 turns because of the intangibility. So he's doing 9 damage. There's our tripled Catalyst, you son of a gun. Whatever. We didn't have to rest. We were right in that regard. But we definitely have to rest now. Oddly Smooth Stone is fantastic. I think we would rather have Ghost in a Jar. We don't need any of these. The deck's fine. No combat. That's all we wanted was no combat. And you know what? I will lose 12 max HP. This gives us the space, and we got 2... oh, Shuriken's not that good, although it's a guaranteed 1 strength up. If we want to play the 3 Shurikens at least. But Toxic Egg, even though it's late in the game, I think we're happy with it. So why on earth would I lose 12 max HP? The way I look at that is that we're not really losing 12 max HP. We're actually gaining, like, a crap load of, well, maybe like 2 or 3 upgraded cards. We could heal for 10 if we buy Toy Ornithopter. I believe it. I believe in it, and I never take it. 37 gold for enemies start weak. Sign me up, buddy. Alright, so we got to get out in front of this guy, no question. First off, thank you for that. I do actually wish we had extra energy, because a burst... Well, like a bouncing flask burst catalyst is awesome, but instead, you know, he's still in a real rough spot. This alone sets us up for greatness here. We don't need to hit him with a Noxious. Certainly some weakness is good. You know, sure, let's apply Leg Sweep. And really, Noxious is just going to keep him at a level of poison that's going to be sustainable, I think. So, why not? And, I mean, at this point, a Glass Knife Malaise helps us out a lot. This should be totally fine. So, if you can get 117 poison on the Timekeeper that quickly, you're probably going to be okay. Even if he purges the debuff later. That fight, I mean, it's never really gone better than that. Except for the times we were able to kill him, I guess. But, nah, we don't want any of that. Second Noxious, sure, maybe. But these guys are a pain in the butt for sure. And, well, they're not attacking too much right off the bat, which is nice. So, let's start with Strength up. And then, it is one of those situations where you probably don't really care about playing Malaise. But if there's nothing better to play, why not, like, Malaise the strongest one? We are going to take 6 damage. We probably should have played Dodge and Roll there. Yeah, I don't know. Broken brain. That's okay. Distraction hits deadly poison. 2 deflects does so much work. 23 damage on the field. Crippling Cloud should help us out there. 17 damage on the field. I'm willing to take 1. That doesn't bother me at all. And why would we take 1? Well, in order to make sure you're dead next turn. And we really got to get you. And actually, you need to get hit as well. Which is the most unfortunate of all. Actually, we have more turns than it looks like we have. Yeah, as long as we can kill you next turn, we're fine. Are we going to rest? No, we're not going to rest in order to save 7 HP. I wish that we hadn't lost the HP, but, you know, that's on me. Call me crazy, I think a second Terror is actually fine, and we'll upgrade Burst. Him being vulnerable twice is going to be a dead card for a while. We will... Oh, do it like this. We will take the Strength up. Now, we've already played 4 cards. I'm happy to have it in the deck, to be honest. It's really, do you want to Glass Knife him, or do you want to hit him with the Crippling Cloud? And I'm actually going to start on the Crippling Cloud. It gives us 6 cards next turn. 21 damage. Obviously not good. I don't really want to Catalyst him this early. We'll start with Draw. And Leg Sweep. It's going to take us to 21 block. And he's doing 21 damage. We have a few cards next turn. That's fine. We're really just stalling until we can play Noxious. And then we can justify maybe some of the Catalysts getting out there. This is an extremely decent Malaise turn. I'm willing to take a little damage in order to give us the space to play 2 cards next turn. I know we could have played Survivor. Okay, now we can play 2 cards. And it's... Burst Bouncing Flask looks right, but it's not right. Because we actually... The second Bouncing Flask won't pop. So we might as well play Bouncing Flask, Dodge, and Roll. Alright, so now we got a meaningful amount of poison on him. It's a good amount of block. It's a tough call. There's a couple good options here. Dodge and roll means you take 1 damage. And then I think it's just Noxious Catalyst, honestly. And you might think it's a little early for Catalyst. But if our second one comes out, we're going to be way ahead of the curve. There it is. Do we pop it? I think we pop it in order to just get him to the halfway point of the fight as quickly as possible. And we could put 12 poison on him and then triple it. But if we just triple it right now, he's going to be taking 100 and something per turn. It's pretty good. Okay, hear me out. Like that. And actually, I'm like, dude, if we play our cards right, we could probably kill him. We actually don't want him to get that low. Oh, this is painful. Because if we get the Catalyst on the right turn, we could probably just end him. If we play it here, he'll flip over. I think if we can just... Basically, if we stall and draw as much as possible and try to get through the deck so that we can get Catalyst later, but not too much later. Oh, he's going to roll over on this turn. Either way, he was going to be at 240 HP. We want to play 6 cards this turn. Is that even possible? If it's not possible, we should actually probably play nothing. So, this is still fine. With Noxious out there, it just means that our next Catalyst is worth something. And sadly, we're not going to get what we were asking for here, but that's okay. So he's, again, I'm going to play nothing, because unless I can play 6 cards, I'm just making his life easier. Okay, so there goes his poison. Obviously, that's not great. This is good, though, because we want to apply terror. I actually think it's totally fine to have intangibility on this turn. Although, if we don't need it... No, let's take it. It also heals us for 5. And then reapply this poison. I don't care if he does 1 damage to me. And I don't care if I make him weak for 1. Let's hit him for 38. So now our other Catalyst is actually functional. And we're not applying weakness to him on this turn, so let's apply weakness. It also heals us. You're doing 12. Nothing. Easy money. Burst, dodge. Well, okay. Burst, dodge, and roll didn't really work. Tori means we take 1 damage instead of 2. Okay, do you play Catalyst? Yes. Takes him to 57 poison. Hey, what's 57 times 58 over 2? Either way, he's dead in 3 turns. So what do we have to do? It's pretty simple. Live for 3 turns. We're going to win, and we're going to get another Ascension victory. Sweetest words in the English language. He can't, there's nothing he can do. Dude, this is a great deck. Not a whole lot of relics. Just got the job done. And that's Ascension 16 handled as the silent. What was the strength of the deck? Well, you don't need no dang energy relics. Just like the defect. We don't need energy relics to win. All we need are upgraded cards. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Oh, baby. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!